Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to arrive in Croatia, marking a historic and strategically significant visit that underscores India's deepening engagement with Central and Eastern Europe. TD India's Jessica Taneja sent us this report from Zagreb. Take a look.
Coming on the heels of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's participation in the G7 summit, the engagements in Zagreb will extend beyond traditional bilateral pleasantries and serve as a strategic exploration of how Croatia fits into India's expanding European vision. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's arrival in Croatia marks a significant milestone. It will be the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister since this Adriatic nation gained independence in 1991. And as India and the European Union seek to conclude a potential free trade agreement before this year ends, partners like Croatia not only provide critical leverage, but also important logistical pathways. Prime Minister Modi is scheduled to hold bilateral discussions with Croatian Prime Minister Andrej Plenković and also meet President Zoran Milanović. These discussions are expected to cover a wide range of topics and present a vital opportunity to broaden bilateral cooperation across various sectors, including trade, innovation, defence, ports, shipping, science and technology, cultural exchanges, as well as workforce mobility. Croatia, an EU and NATO member, offers political stability and a growing economy. With 2.9% GDP growth in the first quarter that has often outpaced the EU average, it holds significant cultural and strategic relevance that resonates in New Delhi. Its consistent support for India's aspiration for a permanent seat at the UNSC and its advocacy for India's membership in the Nuclear Suppliers Group are valued. Discussions will likely address cooperation in international forums on shared challenges such as climate change, counter-terrorism, and regional stability. The visit also highlights the importance of strengthening people-to-people contacts and cultural ties. Building on centuries-old cultural links, the University of Zagreb, with its historic Centre for Indology and increasing Indian cultural influence in Croatia through various initiatives, underscores the existing cultural connections. Over the past decade, India's engagement with the continent has expanded significantly beyond its historical focus on major Western European economies. This visit is not an isolated event, but an integral component of India's evolving and increasingly nuanced approach to European diplomacy. Jessica Taneja for DD India in Zagreb, Croatia.
And let's now go across to Croatia, where Jessica Taneja is present. Good afternoon from India, Jessica. How is Croatia gearing up to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi?
Well, the Prime Minister will be here in a short while from now, and he will be welcomed by the Indian diaspora here present. And a lot of engagements throughout the day, because I was pointing out in the morning as well that he will be meeting with the Prime Minister of Croatia, Andrej Plenković, later on with the President as well, Zoran Milanović. Interesting turn of events throughout the day, as we said. A lot of anticipation for the Prime Minister's visit, excitement as well. I'm in the media room, but I will shortly after this go and show you the excitement of the people who want to see the Prime Minister here, since it's the first visit of any Indian Prime Minister in Croatia ever since it gained independence in 91. It's an important one as well in terms of engagement with more EU partners. And I said that Croatia is both an EU and a NATO member. So the kind of importance and emphasis that has been laid on this particular visit of the Prime Minister is quite a bit. We could also see a lot of MOUs being signed. By the end of the day, there'll be a press statement where the Foreign Secretary will be briefing the media about the outcomes of this visit. Since it's the first visit, there's a lot that has been planned. A lot of groundwork was also laid. You'd recall that for our External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, had also visited Zagreb a few years ago, which was followed by during Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal as well earlier this year. So a lot of engagement moving forward with Croatia, also looking at trade ties. Importantly, Croatia is an important partner, although the trade remains modest at around $300 million. But cooperation in various sectors, especially in agriculture, as well as digital services as well, could be seen, and important infrastructural developments as well. Both the nations share deep historical ties as well, Deepika.
And also when we look at India and European Union as very important partners in different sectors, as you just touched upon, how important it becomes from the FTA point of view that both the sides are looking forward to, put a closure on by the end of this year, Jessica?
That's correct. There's a lot of emphasis, and if I may add, a lot of pressure to finalize the free trade agreement between India and the European Union before this year. And you'd recall the European Union Commissioner Ursula von der Leyen, along with her entire delegation that was present in New Delhi just earlier this year. And we saw the kind of engagements that took place. Now looking at Croatia, Croatia is also an important partner. As I said, it's an EU member state as well, and with a good economy, perhaps one of the EU member states that whose GDP is roughly around 2.9%, often outpaces the average of other EU nations. So a stable political, economy, a country where things have been on the front foot, in a sense, where they've been able to develop economically as well as put their stronghold politically in the European Union. So a partner like Croatia would be very important for India. And it is also India's effort to look beyond just the Western, big European economies like Germany, France, Italy. Those engagements have happened many times before the year. But with Croatia, and earlier you saw the visit in Cyprus, these countries are also increasingly important as India feels that it wants to engage all EU member states and not limit it to just the few big economies in Europe. And certainly this will go a long way for India, and the kind of strategy that has been put behind this entire initiative and the visit will bear fruit when the negotiations take place. And it is a comprehensive one. So partners like Croatia, like Cyprus, are quite important and integral to the entire discussion of how we finalize it and what all inputs are given into it and how these countries play an important role. Let's also remind our viewers that Croatia is one of the countries that has supported India's bid at the UNSC. It has also, actively promoted India's, participation at various multilateral events as well. There has been constant engagement, but this visit then will solidify that relationship moving forward. Because once the two leaders meet, they will have a personal connect, which then translates into making things much more, easier, as well as the flow and the nature of the relationship changes as well. Because once the official delegation arrives here, there'll be a lot of discussions on trade as well as other initiatives. But as an important EU member state, Croatia could be important for India going ahead.
All right. Thank you so much, Jessica, for joining us and bringing us the latest straight from Ground Zero.